What's up YouTube, Day of Zephyr Wargames, and with the release of Battles of Legend Relentless Revenge, I thought it about time that I actually update the Noble Knights deck profile, as well as make it within a budget. Now that Madrot is a lot easier to get hold of as long as Brothers, all of the main money cards in the Noble Knight deck, apart from Isolde, because that has now gone up in price, has gone the opposite direction, are a lot easier to get. We do play 2 Isolde, and that is probably the most expensive card in the entire deck. But without further ado, I'll take you through the deck profile and I'll explain the prices as we go along and kind of show you what we have. So, we start off with double Merlin, and the reason we play 2 and not 3 is, yes, it is ideal to go into your Madrot, but after you've used this effect, you can only special summon Noble Knight monsters once you've used its effect. So you tribute this card, special summon 1 Noble Knight monster from your deck. You cannot special summon monsters until you activate this effect except Noble Knight monsters. So it does really restrict you, which is why we go with 2. We do go with 3 Noble Knight Madrots. So the Merlins are probably pick them up in Platinum for about £1. The Madrots in Ultra from BLLR, you can also now pick it up as £1 each as well. Madrot is your main guy because when you equip him with a equip spell, you destroy the equip spell and then you get to special summon 1 Noble Knight from your deck in face-up defense except himself, and then of course the equip that gets destroyed re-equips to the one you bring out. Now 9 times out of 10 you will be bringing out Noble Knight Boars, but we only play 2 of him, and I'll explain why when we get to him. Triple Noble Knight Brothers, again, that's dropped down massively. They're only about £1 a piece. This card is very important in the deck because if you control... it can only attack if you control exactly 3 Noble Knight monsters, but you don't really worry about it attacking. When this card is normal summoned, you special summon up to 2 Noble Knight monsters from your hand, but cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Noble Knight monsters. Once per turn, you target 3 Noble Knight and or Noble cards in your Noble arms in your graveyard. Shuffle all 3 into the deck and draw 1. So it is your Digustal Emerald. You do burn through these quite quickly because at a 2400 defender, this is the one that you send 4 equipped spells to the graveyard. Bring this guy out off of his Isolde. And then, of course, use his ability to shuffle 3 of those back into the deck and draw 1 card. We've then got Triple Gawain. Now, we play 3 of this because if you control a light normal monster, you special summon this card from your hands. This helps combo out your plays because most of your Noble Knights are considered as normal monsters while on the field if they're not equipped. So getting Gawain on board is actually very easy and consistent to do, which is why you play 3 of him, because you want to get your Isolde as early as you possibly can. We've then got 2 Boars. Boars is less required right now under Isolde because it's not so much about sitting on this guy. Yes, he is very helpful, and he is 9 times out of 10 the one you'll bring out off of Madrot, and then of course link up into Isolde, go into Brothers. Brothers can then hopefully get you more from your hand, and then hopefully you've got a normal light monster, you bring out your Gawain, and you can just start flooding your board with your Noble Knight monsters, go into your Noble Knight XZs, and extend your board further that way. 2 Guinevere, you can play 3 if you want. 2 is kind of more than enough. It does act as another Noble Arms, so you've got to be very careful. And the protection and recyclability of this card is amazing. And then just the artwork in Secret is unreal. Just like look at the detail in the background. Like just that in the background is awesome. So very pretty card as well. We've got 2 Dristan. So again, this card is very important because while you control another Noble Knight monster, your opponent cannot target your monsters with less than 1800 attack except this card for attacks or when a card effect, for attacks or with card effects. When a Noble Arms equipped spell is equipped to this card, take 1 face-up card on the field and just pop it. So it's very nice that you just have a free pop every turn with Dristan. And then we got the 1 Galavad. Again, it's treated as a normal monster while on the field and not equipped with anything, and then you get to target 1 Noble Knight monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and if you do, destroy 1 Noble Arms equipped spell you control. So it allows you to recycle your graveyard, which is very important. Now, if you want to put some more money into this, of course, you can start going into your Ash Blossoms, you can go into your Drawn Lockbirds, but this is just a pure kind of Noble Knights run, as cheap as you can possibly make it. Again, all of those other Noble Knight cards you can pick up in Platinum, so these are all very cheap, these ones here. Even the Glad, I think I picked up like a playset of these for $5, so they're very cheap. And like I said, the main money cards that have just been reprinted just makes the deck so much cheaper to get together. We've then got Triple Glory of the Noble Knights. Now this was a new rare that came out in Expo. You target a Noble Knight monster you control, equipped it with 1 equipped spell from your deck. You can only equipped to that target. You can only activate 1 Glory of the Noble Knights once per turn. So it's very nice to help speed your plays further forward. And if you don't open up an equipped play, but you open up one of this, you hit this with your Madrot and you move your plays forward with Madrot that way. We've then got triple Excalibur. I'm not going to go through all the swords because their effects are, as you can see in the text, very, very long. They do recycle themselves, but we go with triple Excalibur because this helps get you into your XYZs quicker. Triple Destiny, this is probably the most important one, stopping your opponent, stopping your battle cards being destroyed once per turn by battle. And then triple Caliburn. This, of course, gives you an extra 500 attack and 500 life points. So again, it kind of helps you, especially with the time procedures. This could actually be a game winner for you. Other than that, we then play two Galatins. Gain 1,000 attack points, but during each of your standby phases, it loses 200 attack. And then we've got two of this one. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it because I'll always get it wrong. The Dark Blade. Now, obviously, a bit of the glare there. Try and cover it as best as I can for you guys. So this guy here is very, very important with the amount of back row with Altergeist at this moment in time. Focus for me, camera. Doesn't want to know. Anyway, this one you target a set card your opponent controls. The equipped monster loses 500 attack, and if it does, you get to pop the back row. So it's very, very nice, especially if you've got boosted up attack monsters already. Reducing them isn't the end of the world. We've then got one last chapter of Noble Knights. This is again very, very important and powerful. Oh. I think it's the only other one that hasn't had another print except Platinum. So, again, all of these Noble Arms are available in Platinum, so they're very, very cheap to get hold of. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you target a Noble Arms, equip a card in your graveyard, and one appropriate Noble Knights monster in your graveyard, special summon them, and if you do, equip the spell card to it. You can only activate once per turn, so it's kind of like a Monster Reborn for the deck, which, as you can imagine, can be very, very useful. We've then got Double Scapegoat. Now the reason we play Double Scapegoat is to push our plays further forward. On top of that, pushing our plays further forward, you go into stuff like Link Spider. You can go into the Nightmare cards now that they're out and about. And then you can also go into Amissius Radiant. Now, you could go into the other, the Beast Warrior, the Fire one, the Doji that came out in Flood. But because this isn't a Beast Warrior deck, it doesn't have the same abilities or the same kind of effects in other decks. We then play 3 one-offs, Rhoda, Search Out Your Madrots, Upstart Goblin, and of course the Monster Reborn because it's back, it's powerful, why not use it? So that's it for the whole main deck. Now moving on to the extra. Again, with the spells, Monster Reborn just had another reprint, so quite cheap. Upstart Goblin is about £4 as a common. Rhoda we've just had reprints of. Scapegoat you can get into common, super, ultra, and secret, so that's very, very easy to get hold of. And last chapter again is probably only about £1, if that. Now onto the extra deck. Of course, we'll start off with the Link monsters, where better to do than with the main boss card, and that is Isolde. We do need 2 of these guys. You can play at 1, but it's less consistent. This is probably the most, the one deck where this is going to be used. And the biggest disappointment that I'm feeling right now is if, luckily Gokis aren't doing massively well, but if Gokis were like absolutely toppling the meta, doing like spiral level kind of stuff, this would probably get hit. So I'm hoping this doesn't get hit because I really want to keep playing in the Noble Knights. 1 Link Spider off of the Scapegoats, can be 2 if you want. The 1 Amissius Radiant, the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, again, you can take out the Amissius Radiant if you wanted to and go into the Cerberus as well. 1 Underclock, these are all very, very cheap, except of course the Isoldes. Then for the XYZs, we've got triple Articus, King of the Noble Knights, and double Sacred Noble Knight, King Articus. Again, this is very, very cheap to pick up as well. They came in Platinum and they've come in Ultra as well, so very, very cheap and easy to pick up. You go into the rank 4, you level up into the rank 5, and you move your place further forward. 1 pops back row, 1 pops monsters, and you've got the recyclability to go with there. And then you've got your rank 4 staples of Abyss Dweller, number 41 Baguska, which got a nice ultra reprint in BLRR. And then of course we've got the Utopia and Utopia Lightning package, because not many people actually expect Utopia the Lightning right now. And I did face someone at Euros who had the Utopia package in his deck, and he was just like, you know, if I hit Waken the Dragon, I don't mind, I'm bringing out Utopia the Lightning, I've had enough of being Ultimate Falconed. So it just gives you another couple of options, and of course Utopia is always going to be a nice little power play, especially in budget decks right now. So that is it for the Noble Knights deck profile. It is very, very budget. I think you could easily make this deck for £50 or less. If you look at the Isoldes, they're £30 there. Then I reckon you could pick up the rest of the core for about 20 odd quid, maybe. I mean, these are pounds, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, wouldn't even count those, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then about 20, not including upstart, so just over 50 if you play put upstart in here. And then none of the extra deck monsters are hugely expensive. Again, 50p to pounds on some of these because of the amount of prints they've had, apart from years old. So maybe just over 50 quid, but I say if you were to go and offer someone 50 quid and take the whole bundle as this stood right now, 50 quid would be more than a fair enough deal. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helps give an idea of your own Noble Knight build. It's definitely a fun deck to build. It's not toppling the meta, but it is very, very powerful. So if you've got the cards lying around, put it together and have a bit of fun with it. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.